today, baby. Just wanted to state clearly telepathy is real 1000%. And if you feel like you're connected with somebody on that level, it's real. Just don't go too far. Don't lose your fucking mind. But use it. Use it to communicate. Is telepathy real? This is a really good one. I like this topic here. Is telepathy real? Yes. In my opinion, yes. Telepathy is real in my experience. I've had many experiences in my life when it comes to telepathy. It all started, I'll give you the first example, back when I was a little one. Let's see. I always got to get creative because I don't have the fucking attachment here. Is telepathy real? Yes, telepathy is 100% real. In fact, I do believe that language and speaking is a lesser form of communication than telepathy, because animals, for example, they know. They communicate with each other out in the wild. The deer does not infringe on the bear's territory. The deer knows. It's in the ether. Information travels through the ether. Radio waves, motherfucking. All sorts of information, light particles travel through the ether. This is nothing new. So why wouldn't our thoughts, if we directed them with our intention, why would they not be able to travel across the ether as well? Because our thoughts are simply vibrating light as well, or whatever I'm not sure if it's light vibrating matter. I would say our thoughts are no different than light. It's just a different frequency that it's being vibrated on. It's no different than light. It's no different than sound. It's the same thing. So with this in mind, scientifically, I'm sure we can prove it. It's just that certain people, in order for telepathy to actually work, telepathy, however you say it, you understand what I'm saying. In order for it to actually work, the other person that you're sending it to, you gotta have two people that are in tuned, pretty much. The sender has to be good at sending it, and the receiver has to be open to receiving it. And you know what I'm saying? I actually have a funny story. When I was younger, me and my friend, starting in about probably 5th or 6th grade or some shit like that, we used to be on the phone practicing. Because I was always into mystic shit, magical shit like that. I was always into mystical stuff, magical stuff. This has been a part of my calling since I was a little kid. I was into David Blaine and street magic and all sorts of stuff like that, because, little did I know I would grow up to be a very magical, mystical person in tune with spirit. Ever since I was younger, I had this. So I was always drawn to that type of stuff. So this is probably not an experience that many people have had, but people like me, other mystics, other people who are always been in tune their whole life, I'm sure they might laugh at this. You might laugh at this, and you may have similar experiences. But me and my friend, we would be on the phone, and it was my idea, but I would we would practice our telepathic muscles. We would practice by guessing numbers. And we started this game, and it's I remember it used to be pick a number 1 through 5, but it can't be 1 or 5. Right? So that only leaves 2, 3, and 4. And I became very good at this. And it's really an intuition type thing, you know what I'm saying? It just comes to you. And so I became really good at this when I was younger. And then I just pretty much expanded with my friend on the phone. We just started expanding the number out more and more, the variables. Then we would do 1 through 5, all the numbers in between. Then we would do 1 through 10, 1 through 15. And we used to spend hours doing this shit, bro. And I remember one time, and gradually over time, during this little period that we were doing this shit, it was probably a few months or a few weeks, whatever it was. I'm not sure. I was a little child. But during that time, we gradually developed our telepathic muscles over time. We got better, and we were able to send and receive larger and larger numbers as time passed. And what we would do is, I remember I would be instructing him. I would be try to clear your mind, think of nothing. If I was the sender and he was the receiver, when you're the receiver, you're supposed to be thinking of nothingness. You're supposed to pretty much now, in retrospect, now that I'm older, you're supposed to bring yourself to a place of stillness, almost like a meditative state. Like the receiver's job would be to try their best to not be influenced by their own mind and to just make their mind empty. And the sender's job was to repeat the number in their head, visualize the number in their head, and then consciously try to send it to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, have intentions of sending the number and making it pop up in their mind visually and audio, like so they can hear it, so they could see it, and that's how we would do it. So gradually we raised it, and it was funny, I was laughing about this the other day, thinking about this actually, because one time we had a number that was it was like 100 and something thousand, like it was like so many digits, and I think I got within one digit of it. Was like between 1 and 200,000 or some shit like that, bro. It was like, I remember to this day, it was like 160 something thousand. I think it was like 165,000 something, and it was two one digit I got off, but we were both like geeking, and we were both like, oh my god, what the fuck, that shit was fire, like we got fucking powers, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that shit was so fun as I was a kid. That was so fun when I was a kid, doing that shit with my friend, and that was my early intro stages to telepathic powers and shit like that. And it's funny in retrospect, because that friend of mine, he was like a certain character that when I was thinking about it in retrospect, I wouldn't be surprised if he just completely made that shit up and gassed me up, because he knew it was gonna have me gassed as fuck just to laugh to himself. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I haven't been in touch with him in years, but I would like to ask him about that and be like, bro, did you make that up or was that real? Because I wouldn't doubt he just made that shit up just to laugh it to himself and see how gassed I was about the shit, believing it. He's that type of person. But shout out to my man, shout out to my bro Chris, shout out to Chris, man. But yeah, so that was my first little experiences with telepathy and telepathic shit. Fast forward, I remember I was 19, 18, and I was working in this big student loan company. And there was this girl I liked at my job, and I would really fucking, this is a little weird, but it's all good. I don't mind. I'm 100% authentic. I don't give a fuck. I've always been this mystical type person. But being this scenario at work, you can't if you mess with somebody on that level, before you know you guys are on a similar level, you can't do too much, because it's at your job, and that's you got to be careful with that. That's a sticky situation. So I remember I would really visualize this girl every night, and I would try to feel a connection with her. I would try to pretty much with my mind, and I used to really, it's crazy that now I've done research, and Neville Goddard's Feeling is the Secret, his book and his whole philosophy, has a lot to do with what I was doing. This is before I even read it. It's funny because it actually worked. I was really thinking about her a lot. I was trying to similar type thing. I was using my telepathic muscles, just similar type tactics that I was using with my friend, as far as sending, trying to feel the connection, just visualizing and just feeling this connection and trying to send it out. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, we ended up cool or whatever. It worked, pretty much, is what I had to say about that. It worked, and that was that's another little example I can give you. And now, at this point in my life, I've come to the conclusion that telepathy and telepathic abilities is 100% real. And definitely when you're really on a state of resonance with someone, when you really resonate with someone on a high level, and pretty much you guys are on the same wavelength, that's when I've noticed that it's fully real, to the point where now that I just trust myself, where if I'm feeling connected to somebody very strongly, if I'm feeling connected to them, and I feel their energy randomly throughout the day, and I'm constantly having thoughts about them, and I feel very connected to them, I trust myself enough to this point to pretty much where in my head I know that we're pretty much telepathically communicating with each other, because I know the difference. Just throughout my life, to me, I've noticed the difference between you just being obsessed with someone, which I'm a very obsessive person, so that does happen, but also I'm a very mystical, powerful person. So usually if I do get obsessed with someone, I don't get obsessed with people who don't feel that same way about me. When I'm obsessed with someone, it's because we have that sort of connection. So and also, like I said, I feel as though my energy is very powerful, you know what I'm saying? And I have very psychic abilities. I have powerful psychic abilities, I'll say. And so, in that case, I'll just conclude like, yeah, we're pretty much telepathically communicating. And then I've seen over time just more and more proof, because I always keep myself grounded. So I'm not like going full schizophrenic with it. Like, I'll be like, sometimes I do play the, I don't like to say, the whatever's advocate. That's not a good thing to say. So sometimes I do look at the opposite perspective and I use it to ground myself. And I'll be like, we're going a little schizophrenic here, buddy. Like you're doing too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's tone it back. Let's ground ourselves in reality. You know what I'm saying? And then like I'll reel myself back in, but then like I'll receive other confirmations on the other end. You know what I'm saying? This has happened a few times with like social media, with people that I've been in relationships with social media actually, and then people who I've actually never met, who I just felt a connection with on social media too. This has happened, and in both instances, and obviously when this happens with somebody that I've been with in real life and I've had a relationship with them, that's the more stronger confirmation that pretty much just supports the other end. Like, even people that I haven't met that I feel a strong connection with, like, it's based off of that. It's based off because I've been with people in real life, and then like maybe I'm not in contact with them for a while. Maybe they may start appearing in my dreams and shit like that, and or I'll just be randomly thinking of them a lot. Or usually it starts with like I'll see them in my dreams first, and then I'm like, damn, I haven't thought about this person in a while, and then it just kind of goes further from there to the point where I'm like, all right, we're on the same wave. We're fucking communicating. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. 100%, I believe that, that shit is 1000% real. Just as real as communicating naturally, like speaking. And I believe it's sometimes even a more seamless, more powerful, more effective way of communicating. I believe that animals in nature and I believe that it is a natural way of communication that we have more or less just forgotten as humans, because we have had language for so long. You know what I'm saying? That we forgot that this is a base way of communicating, and that we have always communicated in this way. You know what I'm saying? And that this is an avenue of communicating telepathically. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, telepathy is 1000% real, and it's like a muscle, like anything else. Through repetitions, through intention, you can raise these abilities more and more, and you're more likely to be able to communicate with people on a telepathic level if you're very much in resonance with them. If you guys are really on the same wavelength and the same frequency, you know what I'm saying, then you're more likely to be able to communicate on that level. But yeah, I've had many experiences like this in my life. I even do now. I'm having them very powerfully now, and I'm having people showing up in my dreams. I'm communicating with them telepathically. Like, that's what it feels like, and it's like, it feels almost like a conversation. It feels like it's pretty crazy, and actually it's really beautiful when it comes to like romantic relationships and shit like that. To have this sort of connection with somebody is very powerful connection. So I've been feeling that a lot, and today specifically I've had someone on my mind like very heavily, to the point where it's like, it's just undeniable to me. And I know this shit sounds fucking crazy, and like I said, I always bring myself back to earth to ground myself, but I've had enough experiences in my life where things have been confirmed that I just trust my gut at this point. Like, I really know when to trust my intuition, and I know when to reel things back in and ground myself as well. And I usually stay within that middle ground, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to lose myself too fully in this shit, but I do just acknowledge it and accept that it is real 1000%. So I just wanted to come share that with you today. Like, this is some really powerful shit. This is some more mystical type shit. This is some more magical, mystical type shit. I'm that type of person. I've always been a mystic in my life. I've always been very in touch with spirit. I've always had a level of extrasensory perception. So, and I know there's a lot of people out in the world just like me. And whoever's watching this video, especially if you made it to this point, you're a person like me, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to reassure you that you're not fucking crazy. Do your best to ground yourself every now and then, so you don't just go fully off the fucking deep end with this shit and go fully schizophrenic. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's a line to walk on. It's a very fine line, You want to be careful not to lose your fucking mind, but also be open to receiving the messages and communications from others that you vibrate with, that are on a very similar frequency as you, that you really resonate with. So yeah, and then sometimes you don't need to communicate through conventional means. As long as you're communicating telepathically, you're still getting the message across. And yeah, that's sometimes the best way of communicating. But yeah, I just really wanted to make this video to speak on it and to give my take, which is, yes, telepathy is 1000% real. And like I said, you can work on this shit like a muscle. And maybe you could find yourself a friend who's like you, who's like a mystic. Actually, I want to try that. Maybe I'll start trying it with my brother. He's the type of person that I could bring this shit to, and he won't look at me crazy. You know, maybe you should find somebody who's on a similar level to you, spiritually, and who won't look at you like a fucking crazy person if you bring this up. And you could practice with them with the number thing, like I was saying, and maybe different shapes or numbers, and to just gradually over time, you'll see. I'm telling you, test this shit. I haven't done this since I was a kid, but actually this is making making this video is making me want to do this with my brother again, because it was so fun. And it's like it's just like in the gym. If you're working bench press, your chest is gonna get stronger eventually. You know what I'm saying? The pec's gonna be busting more. Same thing. This is like a muscle. This skill of telepathy and extrasensory perception, it's a skill and it's a muscle to be built with repetition, just like everything in life. It's like any skill in life. So I'm definitely gonna start working on this. I'll keep you guys updated on my progress and shit like that. But I just wanted to come and make this video that, yes, telepathy is real, 1000%. Especially to those who are open to extrasensory perception and people who operate on that level of extrasensory perception. If you resonate with this video, go ahead and share a comment. Go ahead and comment, let me know your experiences that you have had with ESP and with telepathy, and let's talk about it. I love you guys so much. That's the video for today. We'll probably speak more on this in the future, and that's all we got for you today, baby. Just wanted to state clearly, telepathy is real, 1000%. And if you feel like you're connected with somebody on that level, it's real. Just don't go too far. Don't lose your fucking mind, but use it to communicate. Love you guys so much. I'll catch you on the next one. You know, you got two options when you come watch our videos here at Takeover Worldwide. You could either win with us, or you could watch us fucking win, baby. Very simple. Love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Let's get it.